Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the TBS series. My name is Ify, and I'm your host. And again, I like to always touch back to explain what the TBS is for, and always remember that it means towards a better society. So I know everybody always looks forward to that society, where we can have everything working for us, things are good, going in a normal way. But then it's up to us to put in the work, to be able to attain that kind of society. Hence, we set up the series, to be able to talk through some of these things that happen in our everyday life so we can learn a thing or two, that will help us going forward. All right, so today we'll be talking about mindset development in the early youth phase, right? So that early phase of the youth life, we want to talk more about the mindset development, and what better person to discuss this topic with me here today other than Dr. Femi Fajalu, and he's a coach, a mentor. He's very passionate about youth development. He's also an executive secretary in an International Scholar Initiative. This is an organization dedicated to funding and mentoring young and self-driven Nigerians who are interested in funded graduate programs in foreign universities, especially in the Western country. Mr. Femi, Dr. Femi, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ify. I deeply appreciate this opportunity, and I want to thank you for putting this together. This is good for our community. This is good for our world. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
And good to see you too. All right. So let's dive right into it, right? So, there are different phases of life. Do you want to help clarify, the group of people that fall into, when we say the young phase of the youth age, could you clarify, what group of people actually fall into this group?
Yeah. Again, thank you very much for having me here. As far as I'm concerned, I think we all need guidance, right? We all need mentorship. So for me, it's not just a particular group of people, but to be specific to your specific question, I think this starts from when your child becomes self-aware. That is when your girls will tell you, "Mommy, I don't want you to buy my dress anymore." I'm in that phase now.
Oh, no.
Till they get married,
Oh, my God. Okay.
Then the challenges kind of change from there. And but as far as this group is concerned, it's definitely, we have to start as early as possible once they become aware of themselves. And once they become, because at some point they're going to tell you, "Oh, I don't want to wear this dress. I don't want to wear these shoes. I don't want to wear this clothes." That's when you start taking control of their mindset. Of course, you do have some work to do even before they get to that stage. So
yeah, and I like that you said that, because we did have a previous series where we talked about the teenage, mindset development. So if you haven't seen that video, please go back to our YouTube. Thank you. Yeah. Please go to our YouTube channel and watch that, so that way you can catch up on some of the great things that were said. So I'm just curious, to know, like, why are you so interested in this, mentoring this group of people? Because I know you have a passion for them.
So for me, again, there's a saying that I developed myself, and I've been saying it all the time. There is no child that is born to fail, and there's no child that will succeed by accident. So you have to make sure that you are doing the work, just like you said. We want a better society, right? We're talking about towards a better society. We can't just say it by mouth. We have to work towards it. If we don't do the work, we can say it from now till eternity.
Somebody has to
We're going to have a bad society, you understand me? So as far as I'm concerned, I have this fundamental belief that no child is born to fail. And for any child to succeed, it can't be by accident. It's something that we have to work for.
Yes.
And secondly, I feel like it is really, really hard to live a life where you don't have somebody to look up to. That was part of my life when I was growing up. I know what I missed, I know what I lost, and I want to make sure that as many as possible that
don't have that opportunity
exactly.
Can get that from you. Yeah.
And also that they are willing to submit themselves, because you can do everything that is possible for somebody, and they still just refuse to submit themselves, because it's something for you to have somebody to look up to, and it's another thing for you to, we talk about, right? Once they become self-aware.
Yes.
Somebody might become self-aware, and you are guiding them, this is how you do these things, and they keep telling you, "No, I know more than you." You understand me?
And Yeah, and I like that you cited that because that would take me to my next question.
Yes.
Because there are really some people. Let's be fair to some parents.
Yeah.
You know, they put in so much work. You know, they
Yeah.
take you to the best schools. They are guiding you. They take you to the nice place of worship. You know, and all of that. And somehow they graduate. Yes, everybody's excited. You know, celebration and all. But they still end up taking wrong decisions.
Yeah,
It's either they
thank
take
you.
wrong decisions, or they find themselves in the wrong cycles, or wrong businesses. What could be some of the reasons why?
Thank you so much. That's a very good question. You see, we live in a world today whereby you don't raise your children by yourselves any longer. No matter how strict you are, no matter how agile you are, no matter how attentive you are, the truth of the matter is, as long as that child has access to a mobile phone, that child is raised by everybody in the world. You understand me? So you don't raise so we need to get away from this mentality that you can do everything. Your child is just going to ordinarily
Take everything.
exactly.
That, yeah.
So and the point of the matter is, once they get out of your house, even while they're in your house, I've seen people that you put them even on timeout. They're on timeout. They have their
They have other
iPad. They have their
things to do.
phones, and they're talking
they are
to their
still
friends.
getting
You understand?
information.
So the truth of the matter is, we have to constantly be on the watch out. That's where some of us comes out. I have people in my life that some things they would never tell their parents. They will come to me and tell me. You understand me? So that's why some people like us, people like you, put yourself out there so that when a girl leaves her mom and they get out there, they see people like you and
That they can connect with.
Exactly. So that's because the truth of the matter is, life cannot be in a vacuum. If you are not there, I'm not there, somebody else is going to be there.
And it could be the wrong person.
Exactly. So and there's something we call peer pressure. We should not underestimate it. It is a powerful phenomenon. People tend to say, "Oh, all I have to do is teach them and guide them in the right direction."
But you never know what's going on there.
No, because I have a 14-year-old. Last week we were debating. I let them talk. You understand me? We debate.
Hear them out.
You understand me? Yeah. She's like, you grew up in a time whereby you nobody,
Back in the days.
almost everyone in the world doesn't have to know what you are doing. I'm like, well, it's okay. Yeah, you guys are living in a world whereby everybody can know what you want to do, but you also have a choice. Like you can bring somebody into your network on your social media account, or you can remove somebody. You understand me?
It's a matter of
Unlike
choice.
when we were growing up, I told her, like, when we were growing up, yeah, we didn't have social media, but if you did something wrong in like 10 miles away from your house, almost everybody in your community.
Oh, of course.
Our own was not social
Yes,
media, but it was
yes.
like community media.
I like that.
So
Your neighbor is always there too.
yeah, exactly. So we
That's right.
have to, as they graduate from teenage year, they go into early youth year, people have to be there to contribute to their lives. Even when you are married, I'm married, right? There are people you go to talk about, okay, how can I do this?
Yes.
How can I go? So
Very
that's why I said
important.
earlier on, right, that every one of us, no matter what phase of life you are, you need somebody to look up to until maybe when God calls us.
That's a great point. Thank you for making that, because I think what I got from that is, even though, we say, oh, we've put in all the work to send them to the best schools, now they've graduated, let me rest. Don't rest just yet. So even if they're going far from you, you want to make sure that they're in touch with the right people. Yes, to keep guiding them as they go, so they make the right decisions.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. That's a great one. So, I was going to ask, there's some young people who have graduated today, and maybe haven't secured a job just yet. Do you have anything to share that can keep them positive, just to keep their minds positive, probably until they secure something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we always hear that an idle mind
it's the devil's workshop.
Yeah, there you
exactly.
go.
So again, it comes back to how you consistently take steps in life. If you are the type of people that have been following the right people, you know that when you don't have something that can bring money to you doing, there are two things that can happen. You can become depressed, or you can become engaged. You understand me? So engagement doesn't have to be something that where you are paid. You understand me? Look for organizations. There are a lot of NGOs whereby you just go there, tell them, this is the skill I have. I want to volunteer for you guys. I want to do something. There are YouTube. YouTube today has become like a global university. Some of the knowledge we are creating here, some of the content we are creating here, people are going to learn from it. Go on YouTube, learn new skills, do something positive for yourself. And if, of course, the mind sometimes can take you to places where you don't want to go, that is where you pick up your phone and call somebody, call a mentor, call a coach, call an elderly person, and tell them, this is what I'm thinking. Don't, because when you cover up what you are thinking in your life, it festers, and when it festers, it can become something else. It grows up, and you find yourself in a place where you regret. I have a family friend. He basically gave his children to me. You understand me? So, like, his son this morning already texted me. It's like, oh, uncle, blah blah blah. This is what I want to do. I need you to talk to my dad to listen to me on this. You understand me?
I mean, it's good that he even has you to reach out to, because there are a lot of people who don't,
And I give, even if what he's saying doesn't make a single sense, I would pretend as if he has my ears. You understand me? That means that way tomorrow when he has something that makes a lot of sense, he will still come back to me.
He will come to you. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So I mean, there are really young people who have dreams.
Yes.
And it's good to have dreams, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, my question is, are they too young? Let's say the person is about 19, 20. Are they too young to start, pursuing this dream? Or would you rather say it's better they spend at least that early part of their life acquiring more knowledge? What will be your, will I say, advice in this case?
Yeah. So for me, knowledge is good. Acquire as much knowledge as possible that you want to acquire. But as far as I'm concerned, I like the idea of going for what you going for your dreams. And of course, it depends. Understand me? If I want to build an application, for example, I can't just wake up and say my dream is to build an application that can help people do this or do that, and then I'm going to start building it. There's a need for knowledge acquisition. There's a need for me to learn programming and all those kind of things. But if you have a dream and you already acquired the
basic knowledge,
basic knowledge, go for it. One of the benefits, one of the opportunities that young people have that we don't have is the ability to make mistakes and still survive You understand me? So they can
don't be afraid
to fail. They can burn down the house and they still have time to build another one. You understand me? So that's one thing that they have going for them. So I am an advocate of failing and failing fast. Go for whatever dream you have. Of course, recalibrate along the road. If you need to acquire knowledge, acquire it along the road. I was speaking with a friend of mine. So of course, I call all my young people, call them my friends. He's at Delaware. He's building a massive project. But along the way, it will make mistake. It will call again. We'll gather for a meeting and we'll try to fix it. If it's not fixable, we'll go back and at least go back to where they were when it was working and see where the
mistakes were.
Eventually troubleshoot what happened. Maybe they need to take that component out, then they continue from where they are. So please go for your dream and go for your dreams. And
it doesn't matter what age you are.
Exactly, it doesn't matter what age you are. Of course, knowledge is also very important.
Yeah, because I was going to say, what are some motivations we can give to them? But I think I've heard some of them from there already. Yeah. You want to make sure that you're not afraid of failing.
Yes.
I think that's one of the major things that's hindering people. People are afraid, like, to say, oh, if I were to take this step now, I don't know how it will turn out. I don't know where I'll be. I don't know how people will receive this. But I think from what you're saying today is don't be afraid to start. And don't be afraid to fail. Yeah. There you go. Awesome. All right. So I know you're very heavy on education yourself, and I know that you also have, this alumni program you guys do from your school. I think that's what we said initially, and that helps people to study, in some of these Western countries. Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Just give us a hint.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. The organization is called iScholar Initiative. I stands for International Scholar, then the I stands for Scholar, and the other I stands for Initiative. Maybe one thing I would say is that it is not an alumni-based thing.
Okay.
So it is like something that grew up organically. So you can be part of it, and as a matter of fact, I'm inviting you, and I'm inviting all our viewers to come and be part of this.
To.
So it's so ISI is an organization that stands to help Nigerians, young Nigerians, to achieve their graduate school dreams. And what does that mean? Like a lot of the masters and PhD programs in the US today are programs whereby students can come and study basically for free. As a matter of fact, you get paid while you are studying.
Oh, wow.
You understand me? So, for example, I studied computer science in my undergraduate, and I want to go for my PhD in computer science. If I'm doing it in Nigeria, I will have to literally pay my tuition, pay for my research. But if I came to the US, there is a school that will pay for my tuition, that will pay for my pay me stipend every month that I can use for my rent. And you know what tuition costs in this country, right? So tuition could be as much as $60,000 a year. You understand me? And somebody over there in Nigeria who qualifies for this, who has the capacity to get this opportunity, but there's something that they have to do.
There's no platform for them.
Exactly. There's also actually 2 exams they have to write to be able to submit their applications to graduate programs in the US. And those exams are called the Graduate Record Exam, GRE, and the TOEFL exam, which is Test of English as a Foreign Language. So those 2 exams cost about $500. And you and I are from Nigeria. You know what $500 means to a lot of families in Nigeria.
When converted to the Nigerian currency.
So that is where we come in. We're like, okay, you have gone to school in Nigeria. You have capacity to come here for masters, whereby somebody will give you $60,000 for free, and they will pay your school fees, which is $60,000 for free per year. And if you are doing a PhD, that's 5 years. That's $300,000.
This is awesome.
And also they give you stipend. Stipend will cover your health insurance, will pay your rent. You can even buy a car, understand? But for you to qualify for that, you need to pass these 2 exams that cost $500. So what we do is, okay, we pay the $500 for the 2 exams, then we have another $200 that they use for application fee, which is when you apply to these schools, the application fee, you have to pay them. They range from $50 to like $150, depending on the schools. So, but we budget $200 for each candidate, so that they can use it to pay for 4 schools that cost $50, or pay for 1 school that costs $150. So after that, then we provide what we call unparalleled mentorship, because it is not just for you to pass these exams. There are other things like your statement of purpose that you have to write, submit to these schools. There are ways you have to send emails to these professors, articulating your position and letting them know that you are indeed qualified for this. So that's where the mentorship comes in. We guide them through the entire process until they are able to
obtain that scholarship,
obtain the admission, then the fund to pay for the school. And when they get here, we also provide them mentorship, because like we've been saying, when a lot of people that grew up in Africa, they come to the US, they just lose it. You understand me? So we have mentors in place that welcome them and keep their head school to focus on what brought them here.
The reason they're here.
So we call them young professional and career advancement mentors. So they mentor them through the 5 years of PhD program and 2 years of after graduation. So it's I think we said it earlier on, we're going to need more than a program to articulate what what iScholar does. But like I said, you are welcome to join us.
Oh yes, I would love to be a part of this. This is huge. This is huge. And it's true that, like all of these great things you said, we have a lot of potentials out there. People just don't have this platform to be able to attain it. Like you said, the $500 could be the only hindrance to somebody's future.
We have several stories.
people.
We have several stories. As of today, we have more than 200 Nigerians that have benefited from this, and out of those 200, we have more than 150 people that are in the US today or in the Europe that they would not have been able to leave Nigeria if iScholar didn't show up.
Awesome, turning lives around. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I want to thank you guys for all the great things you guys are doing. Contributing to achieving the dreams of people out there who don't have that opportunity. Did you confirm if this is open to all? Like, is it open to everybody, or is it every graduate? I think that's where I'm going. Is it every graduate, or are you saying there's a particular criteria for you to be able to qualify? So if I have a certificate that probably I had a third class from school, or I don't know what the next one is, but a third class, let me use that. Am I eligible to apply for this?
Yeah, so unfortunately, a third class would not qualify for our scholarship because we take money from people like you, and we want to make sure that we increase our success rate.
There you go.
The reality is, if you are the first class from Nigeria, if you live in the US, you can go make your case to a professor in the school and they will give you admission. I have friends that made third class. They came to the US and they were able to meet professors one-on-one, and those professors were like, oh, you are good, I will give you a chance. But if you are going through our program, professors are not going to see you.
There you go.
You are in Nigeria. The only medium by which they can see you is through your transcripts. It's through your statement of purpose. It's through the reference letters that your professors have written on you. So we want to make sure that to increase the chances of our scholars of receiving fully funded admission, we limit our applicants to two first class and 2-1. You understand me? But outside of ISI, as a mentor, I also mentor people. Somebody just texted me this morning. She got admission in Canada, and she's a 2-2 student.
I love that.
Understand me? She's not inside iScholar, but she is one of the people that after I saw her, I'm like, this person, you didn't make a first class, you didn't make a second class upper.
But there is a determination to get to your destination.
I can see the qualities in you that if you do this thing outside the normal channel that we use, you are likely going to get this thing. And this morning she texted me that she has received.
This is awesome.
And then another thing is Polytechnic. In Nigeria, they say if you have HND, you are not equal to the BSc. That's absolutely not true as far as the US is concerned. This morning, I told you we were interviewing 14 candidates for a scholarship, and as we call this lady, she came on the YouTube and the Zoom room, and guess what? She's like, oh, I may not need this scholarship any longer because as we were speaking, an email came in. They offered her a fully funded offer in one school in Ohio.
Awesome.
And she's HND holder from Lagos State Polytechnic, civil engineering. Now she's coming here for PhD civil engineering.
Awesome.
So if you have a good grade in from your Polytechnic, you are qualified from our program.
There you go. Awesome. So keep your determination up.
Yes,
you know what you see in your dreams. You want to pursue it. Hold on to it. Don't give up. Continue to push through, and hopefully you definitely get to your destination. I think that's what we're hearing today. So that's a great initiative. I was just going to ask, because of our viewers out there, if somebody was trying to say, hey, how can I reach you guys? To try to key into this or maybe learn more about the great things you guys do. What will be some of the best ways we can reach you guys?
Just put iScholarInitiative.org on your web browser, or just Google it. Just go on Facebook, search iScholar Initiative. Go on LinkedIn, search iScholar Initiative. Twitter, all the social media platforms, search iScholar Initiative. You're going to see us there. My phone number is online. I get phone number from random people all the time, and I think my family is used to that because it's like a mission for
Oh
me now.
yeah,
So,
that's awesome. I love the passion you have.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be putting that on the screen so that way you guys can see that and also connect with them
Yeah.
as well. So before I let you go, we don't have all the time in the
Yeah.
world, but then I would say, what are some of the things you can say to those young adults,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
probably have missed their way?
Yeah.
We initially talked about
Yeah.
those who obviously had the best trainings and all of that, but still, took wrong steps after then. What would be some of your advice you would give to those who have done so already and are willing to retrace
Yeah.
their steps?
Yeah. Before I speak to people in that category, let me speak to people like you too. If you have to put yourself out there, because the truth of the matter is, if somebody is going on the wrong direction and they don't have somebody, I think Newton said it. If a body is in a state of motion or state of standing, that body will remain in that state until there's an external
force acting on.
that is acting on it. You
A
understand
state of
me?
rest, yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm saying in essence is, if you see somebody that is going wrong, make sure that you try your best. You might not be a professional, but at least, how can I help you? Understand? Let me give you a very wonderful short story. They talk about Yahoo boys in Nigeria. You understand me? Somebody called me last week, Thursday, trying to dupe me. And he was giving the story, how talking about some Zoom stuff. And I listened. Initially, normally people will say, oh, just stop and cut them off and curse them out. So I listened, and after I was done, I knew his mission. I said, can you give me 2 minutes of your time? It's like, yeah, just click on the code. I said, give me 2 minutes of your time. And I said,
And hear me out.
yeah. And I said, why do you want to damage Nigeria? What has Nigeria done to you? Why are you trying to damage the country?
Oh no. Red-handed.
And we had like 20 minutes conversation.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I heard him out. You understand me? He maybe his first answer was like, oh, Nigeria has damaged my life. All my friends have left me behind. My mom and dad have died. I've been a bricklayer, I've been an electrician, but at the end of the day, I listened to him. I let him know that the fact that you are going through this shouldn't lead you to
doing
a
the wrong
criminal
things.
enterprise.
Yes.
You understand me? Because you are basically going to ruin your life if you get caught. This guy left weeping at the end of the phone call. I don't know whether it's going to change
It's
or not, but
definitely
I was
going
able
to.
to. So we have to do stuff like that to make sure that we begin to redirect our society. But for those people that are there, you have to be willing to change. That is just the truth. If somebody is offering themselves as a mentor to you, you have to be willing to accept it, because, like I said, we can do all the mentorship that we want. If somebody is not willing
to take it in,
so
it falls on deaf ears.
Yeah, like I said to parents, like at the end of the day, some people will not change until they have learned their bitter lessons. That is just the reality. But majority will change if they find themselves speaking to the right people, being guided by the right people. So it's okay to make mistakes, but it's not okay to continue to make mistakes. But also, you and I that have seen the light must consistently and constantly be out there, make ourselves available for these young people so that they know that they have alternatives. Because if they don't see alternatives, turning back is very difficult.
It's very difficult. Great. This is deep. Thank you so.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Yeah.
And I think we can all relate with that story that he just gave. And there are so many other situations like that. We see a lot of people who are doing very unruly things in the society today. Some of them really have not had that opportunity to either hear the truth, or they did know the truth but didn't know how to be guided in the right way. So I think that's kind of what he's saying. So you and I today, who might know a little thing or two, when you see things like this, it's either you speak up or make yourself available to be reached out to. So that way you can help turn somebody's life around in the right direction. So that's a challenge for all of us, and
Absolutely.
that's a challenge for everybody and all of viewers out there as well. Thank you so much, Dr.
Absolutely.
Femi. You've told us a lot of things, that would definitely help, especially our young minds out there listening to us today, to be able to drive in the right direction. And also for those, who are more in the academic line, I think he did give some tips today with some of the great things that his org and initiatives are doing. So again, please reach out to them, to see if you can actually find some of your future in that. So again, thank you so much
Thank you very much.
for
Thank
being
you
on the
very
show
much.
today. We appreciate your time
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we have to go, due to time and all of that. But
Thank you.
hopefully our viewers out there will be able to pick a thing or two from what we've talked about today that would help us, change our mindset as we go. All right. Again, my name is Ify. I'm your host. And until we come your way again, enjoy wonderful days ahead. Thanks, everybody.